Yo, what up? Welcome back to this week's ZTV.
Hope you had a good weekend, and we have some announcements for this week.
You know, congratulations to the boy Cooper Ziegefers for placing third at Wrestling State.
And congratulations to the winner of the Scholastic Art Competition, Adele Wilson, Julie Jones, Emily Evans, and Abril Flores. Claremore also had 14 young talent winners this year. We are proud of their accomplishments.
On the 7th, tennis got a Pauls Valley tournament in Norman. Baseball also got a game against Memorial, and the varsity boys and girls soccer have a game in Sapulpa. Be there and support. Baseball
has a game on the 9th versus Cascia, and varsity boys soccer has a tournament in Skiatook, also on the 9th.
Varsity track got a meet at Glenpool, and the baseball teams got a game with Airedale on the 10th.
Don't forget, ZAP enrollment is also coming up on the 30th this month. Spring break starts this week on the 10th and ends on the 17th.
Now let's get to this week's news stories.
Jaxon and Ariana brought us a look into the girls' golf team. They interviewed Coach Greenland, and here's what he had to say.
My name is Mr. Greenland. I'm a psychology and sociology and social psychology teacher here at the high school. This is my first year to coach golf. So far, my favorite part of coaching girls golf is getting to know the girls themselves and the fact that we get to go to the golf course when the weather's nice. So we have an indoor facility, which is nice, but we also have the opportunity to go to Heritage Hills Golf Course whenever we can. So we get to change things up, and that's been enjoyable. Prior experience to join a golf team, there really isn't any because we have a variety of skill levels. We have some golfers that are very good, they've been playing for a long time, and we have some golfers that are starting off at the very beginning. So it's kind of everything in between, and we welcome that. It's a great place to learn how to play the game and learn the rules of the game as well as to continue on.
I'm Annabelle Vanneman. I'm on the girls golf team. I've been playing golf for 2 years. I just like playing golf with the girls. I like having fun with them and building chemistry together as a team. It's special because we all get along really, really well, and it's just a very welcoming environment. We don't judge each other, and we just want everybody to get better.
So we practice every day during fourth hour, and when the weather is permitting, we'll practice a little bit longer, especially if we go to the golf course and we maybe warm up on the range and the putting green and the chipping area, then go play some holes of golf. So we have about one tournament a week starting in March, with the exception of spring break, and that'll be March and April. What makes the girls golf team special? It's a great group. The girls are all wonderful and varying ages. We have freshmen all the way to seniors, and it's a serious kind of competitive setting, but at the same time friendly and laid back. And you throw all those dynamics in with the fact that tournaments last all day. We'll get up early and we'll get home later in the evening, or they're out of town. We spend a lot of time together joking around, hanging out. So it's a neat dynamic.
Someone should be interested in joining the team because it's a fun environment and it's something to do, a little extracurricular activity, and you get your steps in between the holes, a little exercise.
If someone's interested, it's a great way to learn. If someone's already playing and want to continue on and be competitive, it's also a great way to be involved. It's a great way to make some new friends with something that you have in common. And golf is something that you can continue outside of high school. You can do that in many realms. To join the girls team, you'd have to enroll in the actual sport, which coming up for their ZAP enrollment, that would be a good time to do that if interested. And then when that rolls around in the springtime, we get started. We generally have an order to who gets to go to the tournament, but regardless, everybody's going to get a chance to be a part of what we're doing and practice. And
have you ever wondered if any teacher had any embarrassing stories about their time in high school? Well, now you will find out, because Hailey and Tytus asked some of our staff for their personal stories.
Coach Jaxon, how long have you been a teacher here at CHS?
This will be about 1.5 years now.
What high school did you go to, and what year did you graduate?
So I graduated from Kellyville High School back in 2010.
What is your most embarrassing moment of high school?
We had a time where me and the other basketball captain, we lost a buzzer beater to our rival. They stormed the court, and we decided we were going to go egg them the following night. We got caught by the cops, and our two options were pay a hefty fine or wash all the egg off. And so, 6 a.m. in the middle of December, we're washing cars all night long, so that wasn't fun.
What a tragedy. We're here with Coach Weber. Coach Weber, how long have you been teaching at CHS?
This is year 9 at CHS.
He's kind of old. Where did you go to high school and when did you graduate?
I went to Belleville Township High School East, which is in Belleville, Illinois, about 6 hours away from here, and I graduated in 2009.
And what was your most embarrassing moment from high school?
I'm going to save my pride for another time, but my buddy Calvin, we came out for a football game my senior year, and we just got done doing the offensive starters introduction, and we're waiting there for the team to run out the tunnel, and he was the first one through the paper mache sign deal and ate it, biffed all over the place, and the first thing that hit was his face coming through, and the front page of the newspaper is him on his face. Poor Calvin.
I don't know Calvin, but sounds like a bad day.
Our last story is a little history lesson on why the Claremore Zebras are the Zebras. I bring you my discoveries on the topic. Claremore Public Schools has a mystery on its hands. A question has been plaguing the minds of students K through 12 for years. Why are we called the Claremore Zebras? I'm Hope Mallory, and I spent hours of my time answering this question for you. I first asked some of Claremore's sources.
Well, the way I understand it, because I've been a zebra my whole life, and I graduated in '76, the story we got back then, and I can't validate it for sure, but that some uniforms came in, and they were the wrong print, but they were red and white striped uniform, and so they decided to go as red and white zebras. So that's what I have heard all these years.
All right. Hi, Jonathan.
Hello.
Do you know why we're called the Claremore Zebras?
Because our mascot is a zebra.
Thank you so much for your answer. After getting a feel of the severity of the issue, I went digging for answers. Then finally, I found it. Before I tell you, let me give you a little bit of a history lesson about Claremore High School. Originally, we were Eastern University Preparatory School, and the building was over where RSU is now. Before it was a military academy. Now, whenever the football team was founded at the preparatory school, they were called the Preps. But whenever funding was cut off and they turned the school into a military school and Claremore built its own high school, they couldn't call themselves the Preps anymore because it wasn't true. They were no longer a preparatory school. They were a new school entirely. So, whenever it came to budget reasons, in 1920, their football team had green and purple striped uniforms. Now, most uniforms were striped back then, but they were horizontally striped, whereas these uniforms were vertically striped, which, in reference to referees, which had vertical stripes, they were called zebras. Now, that name kind of stuck. So, we, as a school, have our mascot thanks to, well, an insult. Zebras was used as an insult to our uniforms. And the colors that we know today came about when they were ordering new uniforms for football. They had red shirts and white khakis, as they were the cheapest that there were. And so, we were the red and white zebras.
That is all we have for this week's ZTV, and I hope you guys have a great week and a good spring break. And go
Go
Zebras!
Zebras!